Well, we met kind of on a blind date, I guess. His uncle was building the chapel in Texas where I went to church, and his aunt found out I was coming back to Utah to teach school, and she said, "You need to meet my nephew when you go back." So she made that arrangement, and unfortunately, before I got back to Utah, my roommate had changed apartments and we weren't living where we had told them we were living. So his mother wrote to my mother and said, "Have her call him," and I did. So I called him first, and and so then we had our first date, and we dated for nearly a year before we were even engaged. But that year after school was out, I went home to Texas, and he came to Texas and met my family, and they liked him, and we got married in July, and been 55 years nearly. No, yeah, 55 years this year. Lots of good times with the family. Family was most important to us both, and we loved being with our kids. We have a lot of football memories. We went to the Miracle Bowl in San Diego, and that was just great fun. When they started televising, and you could see the games on TV, we couldn't get it here, so we rented a hotel in Provo because they had the cable, and we watched the year that they won the championship, and so that was great fun. We had some really fun vacations. He was good enough to take me home to visit my family every summer, and so we went to Texas every summer. Then one year we went back east and toured the national sites and church history places, and that was really, really a great experience.
And what do you love about Grandpa?
His laugh and his smile, his sense of humor, I guess everything. Happy Father's Day, Paul. I love you, hon.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. Sure love you. One of the things that I remember from Grandma's funeral was how everybody that spoke claimed that they were her favorite. And I kind of think that you got some of that gene. One of the things I remember specifically about growing up was all the times you did things with me individually and made me feel special. I remember a couple of fishing trips you took me on. I remember feeling lucky enough to get the extra seat to the BYU games, and I'm sure that's why I love football today. But anyway, sure love you. Appreciate all you've done for me. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.
Hey, Paul. Happy Father's Day. I'm happy that Robin's putting this together for you. When she asked me to come up with some memories, it's hard to narrow down over 30 years of memories, but I have so many of them with you, and everything from going to the Bar J Wranglers for the first time and seeing Island Park, and spending time in Montana fishing, and in New Mexico fishing below the Navajo Dam, and just hundreds of hours we spent working together. They're all just wonderful memories. All the time that you've spent with my children. I think the most important thing, though, is how you've always made me feel, and that has always just been accepted. I've just always felt accepted from the first moment I met you. I've just felt a bond and felt accepted, and just felt a great love for you and for Nita and for all your family. And I didn't just fall in love with your daughter, I fell in love with you and your whole family, and you've just always been a wonderful example of a great father and a wonderful man, and I appreciate it. And on this Father's Day, I just want you to know that I love you and I'm thinking of you, and I wish you the happiest Father's Day there is.
Hi, Grandpa. Happy Father's Day. One of my favorite memories, it's not a specific one, but I just remember loving being over there in the summer and spending time with you guys when I would get to come up by myself and have you for the whole week. I remember loving playing Roomy Cube with you for hours, and I remember your fruit leather very vividly for some reason. I loved that stuff, and I just loved every moment I get to spend with you, and I just think you're absolutely wonderful, and one of my favorite things about you has always been your laugh. I think it's so funny. I don't even care if I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna laugh because you have an amazing laugh, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I love you.
Hey Grandpa, this is your number one favorite grandkid in all the land, Max Christensen III, or at least out of the Christensen clan. I know that I'm secretly your favorite. But really, Grandpa, I just want you to know I love you, I care about you, I think about you and Granny every single day and praying for you guys, and happy Father's Day. I know we're all out here sharing memories, and there's a bunch with you, whether it's playing with your fish in the pond, visiting the parakeets that you always had, getting scolded for going in the garden, water gun fights, piggyback rides are always the best from you. But my favorite memory has to be the second Las Vegas Bowl that we went to. I was in 4th grade. You guys pulled me out of school. BYU versus UCLA in Vegas. Ethan Malimauna blocks the field goal to win it. And I start crying because I thought BYU lost, but I start crying because they won. You and Kenny started shaking me and celebrating, and we had a great time.
Happy Father's Day, Grandpa. I love you so much.
Grandpa's the reason why I love sports, the reason why I'm an athlete. One of my favorite recent memories, I guess 2 memories. Me and Robin first got married. We took Grandpa to the Utah game, 2019, and it was a crazy game. It was super cold, it was raining, and we lost. And I just remember Grandpa was standing up and almost disbelief, couldn't believe that we just lost again. And that just really stuck with me. It was heartbreaking to have to take him to that. And so then 2 years later, 2021, I'm playing at this point, and we finally beat Utah after a 9-year streak, and I just remember running and jumping up in the stands and giving Grandpa a huge hug, and we were just jumping up and down. It's like that we did it, and that was just so special for me, and it's the whole reason why I came down to play BYU, and I just love Grandpa so much. So much about him is the way that I am, and happy Father's Day, Grandpa. I love you.
I love Grandpa because when Caleb and I first got married, it was just such an uncertain time in our lives, and Grandpa just never loved me differently. He always just made me feel so welcome and so accepted, and he always just makes a point to say, "Hi Robin, how are you?" and give me a hug, and he just has so much compassion. So I love you, Grandpa. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Grandpa. I love you.
Happy Father's Day, Grandpa. Love you.
What else do you want to say to Grandpa? Say it loud.
My birthday!
And
My birthday!
your birthday?
Happy Great Grandfather's Day. I love you, Grandpa. I love you. You blow kisses. Mwah. Mwah.
Mom.
Hi, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Besides all the really super happy memories I have with you, one kind of sad but tender memory I have is when Grandma died. And I remember you told me, and I just started sobbing. And even though you must have been crushed yourself, you wrapped your arms around me and just held me so tight and let me cry. And you've just always been our rock. And I'm so grateful for you, for all your sacrifices and all your love over the years. I love you so, so very much. And I hope you have the best day ever. Mwah. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, Paul. Dave here, your favorite son-in-law. My favorite memory of you is when Lori and I were engaged and you loaned me your car so that I could go to Rexburg for school and then come back and visit Lori. Sometimes on the weekends, and one time coming back from Rexburg, the car broke down the engine overheated, and I didn't know. I still don't know anything about cars, but probably made it worse by driving it. It was dead of the winter, close to, I think, November-ish sometime, and Julie was coming home from her mission that day. But you had to come and pick me up in Idaho in an Indian reservation where the car broke down. So appreciate you being willing to do that, and on a day that was really special for you. And anyway, just have so many great memories of you and how you've treated your kids and our kids and all of your grandkids, and you're a great example to me. Happy Father's Day.
One of my favorite memories of Grandpa is just hearing some of his stories, and he also gives the best back massages. I remember just like sitting in front of Grandpa and just like hoping that he would like rub my back or draw letters on it or something, and I'd have to guess what they were. But doing those things are some of my favorite memories. Oh, and one more. When I first brought Truett over, my current fiance, Truett was really, really impressed with him because he has such a good memory. He remembered his name right off the bat, and no one remembers Truett's name right off the bat because it's kind of different. So those are some of my favorite memories of Grandpa. Love you, Grandpa.
Grandpa, happy Father's Day. I have two favorite memories of Grandpa. One of them being every time we'd visit, he would take me and Becca to go to Seagullbook to get webkins, and those meant a lot to me, and I treasured them so much, and I just love those, and I love them more than all my other stuffed animals, and I had a lot, so. And then the other thing would be every time we'd go over, he would usually, we'd always play like board games and stuff, and his favorite was Roomy Cute, and my favorite thing was when he'd chuckle because he knew he was gonna win, because he always would, but his little chuckle every time. That's all. Love you, Grandpa.
So he was my sports hero in addition to like just being my hero. He would make me run around the school, and I would like get done with a lap and he'd say, one more, and just like, I'd get so upset with him. In fact, I'd get around the school and then I'd stop and I'd sit down for a minute. That started my, love for sports and athletics and stuff. It doesn't matter what mistakes you make. He's just there for you. And he's proven that just time and again in my life. He just loves me unconditionally. Happy Father's Day. Love you, Dad, so very much.
Paul, I love you very much. I really, really appreciate how much you loved my kids. You've been a great grandfather to them and a great role model to me as well. I've appreciated how you took Tyler in when we were struggling, and you've just shown a special interest in all of them and really a care and concern. So I really love that about you. And that was just a really good attribute you have. And I love you very much, and happy Father's Day.
I spent a summer here with Granny and Grandpa, and just playing board games and having them drive me to school was really cool. Just getting to know them better. It was a fun summer. Happy Father's Day, Grandpa.
Hi, Grandpa. I remember one of my favorite memories of you, most memorable, was one of our family reunions when you walked out in a dress and a wig. So funny. I remember laughing so hard about it, and I just thought that was the best thing, and I always think about when I think of you, and I love you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Grandpa.
I just remember when we came over for sleepovers, and he would always let us help feed the chickens, and he would always play games with me. It just made me feel loved. Happy Father's Day.
So some of my favorite memories from when I was younger are I remember that we were always so excited for you to come home from your trips, and that we would always color pictures for you. And I remember looking out the bedroom window in the yellow room, just watching the highway for your truck to come home, and be so excited when you would get home. And sometimes you would bring us lizards or horny toads, and that was fun. I remember one time when I was little, I don't know how little I was, maybe 5 or 6, that we went camping and you just took me camping, just me and you, and I remember that we ate Twinkies and that we looked at the stars, and some of the memories I have are our trips to California and our trips to Texas and going to football games. And now, like whenever we come to visit, whenever I sit by you on the couch, you always put your arm around me, and it always makes me feel loved, and I love that about you. I'm so thankful to have such a wonderful dad. I love you so much, and I hope you have a happy Father's Day.
Hey Grandpa, how's it going? Hope all is well, and I hope you're having an amazing Father's Day. I'm loving life. Being a missionary is great, and it's crazy that I'm almost done. I've only got about 6 months left, so working hard. But I just want to say thank you. I'm grateful for the example you've given me of how to be a father. I know how much love you have for your kids and for your grandkids. I remember one of my favorite memories that we've shared together is my freshman year of high school when I had a basketball tournament at UVU, and you would drive me to campus every morning, and then we would drive back home together every evening. And I've treasured those conversations that we shared. It was always a great time. So I love you. I hope all is well, and I'm excited to see you again soon. All right. Happy Father's Day.
Hi, Grandpa. Happy Father's Day. A memory I have of you is when you taught me how to play Rubik's Cube. I didn't like it at first, but when I played it with you, I really enjoyed it. Love you, Jacob.
Happy Father's Day, Grandpa. One of my favorite memories of you is when me and Audrey would make you look beautiful and get the little Cinderella game out of the closet and start making you look pretty and doing your hair. Love you, from Shaylee.
Between football and basketball and track, he was always involved, like year-round. And I remember as a little kid, just like going over to the school, and he would time us as we ran around the school. He would cheer us on as we got around one time and tell us how we're doing on our timing and encourage us. And that's one thing that was unique with my dad, was like he was always there for everything and involved in everything. And so that's pretty special to me. So happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you.
So one of my happiest memories with Paul is a year after Ken and I got married, my dad passed away suddenly. And he was right there. I still remember we were standing in the kitchen, and he put his arm around me, and he said, "I'll take care of you. I'll stand in for your father." And I always have remembered that, and he's been great to do that. He's been a wonderful father. We love you. Happy Father's Day.
Okay, my favorite memory with Grandpa is when he took me and Kelsey to Dunkirk, because me and her love Harry Styles, and he loves war.
Grandpa's special to me because growing up we were always good buddies. And I would always sit on his lap, and we would sing songs together, and we had good memories together. Happy Father's Day, Grandpa.
My favorite memory is probably doing the Easter egg hunts, and he would hide the eggs, and he would hide them really high, or in the garden, and then we would get yelled at, and it was really scary, but it was funny because it was Grandpa. Happy Father's Day!
I would play with him and slide down his legs. I would comb his hair and do his hair for him. Father's Day, Grandpa.
Bowl, went to Yellowstone several times, just playing football. He was always my coach, very active in my life. Love you, Dad, because you're great. You're such a good dad. You've always been so wonderful, and happy Father's Day.